So my work is it's actually part of my current series of work, which is B series, and it's actually a mini collection of it, and it's called the Gundam. So Gundam is actually a really famous, popular Japanese transformer animation, and I've always fascinated by that animations. And when they actually also make toys for people. And what's interesting about them is that they make those Gundam toys in a different size, which also they also make this mini size of it. And I thought that was very interesting and fun project to make. So that's where I got the inspirations, and that's how I started the project. So the time when Toy and Miniature Museum released the application, that was also a similar timeline that I made this piece, and it was my first time trying a mini series of work. So, and I found this application. I thought it was it was a good opportunity to apply for it. Yeah, I like it. I don't really have a experience of working miniature, because normally when I make my work, they're not that small size, and the technique that I use, glass blowing, is actually a technique for making a big objects. So normally when I make my work, I make like 10 inch, starting with around like 10 inches tall, and it goes bigger than that. Um, but I got to make this work because of actually one of my client, um, and it was actually interesting experience because I actually have many young fans from my work, but and they really want to buy my piece, but they're just not financially prepared to afford it. So actually, one of them asked me, "Can you make something small that we can with a reasonable price?" And that was the idea of this mini collection. So and that's how I started. That was my first experience making mini series of my work. Yeah. So Glassblowing Studio is actually a very dynamic studio. I know normally a lot of artist studios are like very private, personal, quiet space, but actually Glassblowing Studio is um, it's a team working sport. So there are many people working at the same time, at least two people, 2 to 3 people. So I get to see them when I make my work. I get to see other glass blowers what they make, and some glass blowers make a vessel, some other glass blowers make a sculptural stuff and abstract forms, and that's all inspirations for me. That makes me creative. Fantasy, sci-fi movies, comics, games, toys. I get like when I see those, and I focus on what kind of characters designs are, or or other decorations they have it on their designs. That's where I get the inspiration. Nope, I just make whenever I want. Whenever I don't want, I don't. In glass, I'm always fascinated by this historical glass, specifically Venetian traditional glass, which those are goblets, chalice, with a very intricate, elaborate stemware. In general, I'm always fascinated by toys. I collect a lot of toys, personally. So, though I combine these two materials to create my sculptures. Um, Patience, practice, layers, most importantly, teamworking. Glassblowing does take long time to be skilled. So like you have to go through that long time of big amount of time of practice. That's and yeah, that's kind of like how I improve myself, create my work. Uh, I found glass in undergrad, which is in Korea, and to be honest, I did not know that my department teaches glass until the first day of class. And first day, and when I went to school on the first day, I the glass class was my first class, and I was surprised. I like obviously surprised, and I played with it. And at that first moment, really felt like it really felt instinctively like I was like I'm gonna go with this for my life. And I was 20 years old at that time. Um, yeah, that's how kind of like how I started. Um, I've I found my style actually when I was in grad school, um, and that time I was practicing a lot of traditional glass stuff, and I've always thought that this goblet itself looked like human form, but also and also at that time in my house I would always like display my goblets and the toys on the same shelf, and when they overlapped each other, they that was kind of like the moments that I found. That's it, like they totally look similar. So like all the stemmers and like parts of this stemmers um, looked very similar to me, to human form, actually human body form. Like, so I thought it would be very interesting and fun to play to create my own special toys out of those stemmers. And yeah, that was the start of my work. Yeah.